Oh, we are live and in living color here in Los Angeles. It's the JJ Sessions podcast. And I take that back. I'm not. We're in Central Pennsylvania. We're not in LA. Trust me, we're not in LA. But in this case, in case anyone's wondering, I am geared up in Los Angeles Kings gear. My background's got a Los Angeles King because, in a way, sometimes on this channel, do you guys need a laugh? Sometimes you got to take a couple of minutes out of your life just to check my podcast out, check my vids out, so you can get a little bit of a laugh here. Do you want a sports hot take? This is the place to be. Do you want some facts? This is the place to be. You want to learn about Gen Z, millennial, the war as it continues on? This is the place to be. So this video right here is specifically for one major team in the world, and quite honestly, it belongs in LA. And it's not this team. It's not the Dodgers. It's not the Lakers and LeBron. It's not even those two crazy soccer teams, and it's not even the Rams. It's not even that. They have a Super Bowl. Why would I say anything about them? This vid is about it's that other team in LA that nobody cares about, the Chargers. They look good on paper, but no, it's the Chargers. And most of my friends in real life, and many people know, I've said this many times, and it's straight fact. Nobody in LA cares about the Chargers. Roll the intro. And as always, if you like some of hanging out and just enjoying some of the comedic content that we do, hit that like and subscribe button, because we do appreciate you. And yes, I may get a lot of negative feedback on this video, but it is content. But in a way of speaking, I want to get this out because it's comedic sports content. Let's just get right into the nitty gritty. And unfortunately, I wish I had, like I usually like to joke about, a $9,000 setup, but I'm going to use the lovely help of our great Gen Z gift that we always love, Wikipedia. Now we go to work. So, in case you were ever wondering, let's just go with the rough draft here. Who were the Chargers? So let's just do this, whatever it is. The Chargers were founded in Los Angeles, 1959. There was an LA Chargers in 1959. That's where they started. As they started playing in 1960. Try to remember the old AFL. They spent the first season in Los Angeles before relocating to San Diego in 1961. They will obviously become the San Diego Chargers, and they were a part of that big merger in 1971. They used to play in the stadium known as Jack Murphy Stadium for many, many eons. In the beginning, they played in the Memorial Stadium in LA. But they played in San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium / Qualcomm Park, Qualcomm Stadium. Remember that? Remember all those like audio tech names that were all back in the day? Remember those names? Remember Qualcomm? Remember them? Yeah. There it was, LA Chargers in 1960. And then moved to San Diego. And San Diego basically inherited them after 1 year and made it its own brand. Now then, all this time, San Diego really you feel for them because they don't really have a whole heck of a lot of anything. In fact, San Diego is more basically tourist area than it is a sports city. But when the Chargers were their only thing, and trust me, that was their only thing. And at one time, they had the San Diego Clippers in the NBA, and they moved to LA. So, let's just get to the gist of why in the world did they move to LA. Ask the Spanos family. They're the ones that own the family, owns the team right now. So, in a manner of speaking, the whole thing started with the Rams owner, Stan Kroenke. who at the time the Rams were in St. Louis. And St. Louis may have had a Super Bowl, greatest show on turf, remember them. They were not getting the results. The team was not that good a handful of years afterwards. Even though St. Louis has a dome stadium, they're like, Stan Kroenke is the richest owner in the NFL, wants to move the team to LA, and the Rams were in LA before. He's going to build that big, gigantic billion-dollar palace known as SoFi Stadium. And it's an absolutely gorgeous place. Gorgeous stadium. Just recently had WrestleMania there this past April. So in a way of speaking, there was a race in a way at the time between the Rams, the Raiders, and the Chargers of who wants to share rent with that stadium. And trust me, having the NFL in LA makes a big difference because of how big the NFL monopoly is. Now, in a way, the Rams got their deal to go back to LA, and at the time, they got to play in the LA Memorial Coliseum. The Raiders were in the mix as well because they wanted to move back as well, but the Chargers were also throwing their name in here because at the time, they also had a proposal. Dean Spanos wanted to make a proposal to build a new stadium outside San Diego around Mission Valley. And Mission Valley is where Jack Murphy Qualcomm is. So they deservedly so want to stay in San Diego because that's all San Diego has. Charger fans believe they have a brand. They've had a brand for decades. Dean Spanos and their official group in the Chargers basically said a big FU to the proposal that was made, and just said a big FU, we're packing our stuff and we're going to LA. So the Spanos family, they're not bad people, but when you're greedy, I want to build my brand, I'm moving to LA. Well, the Rams are still having issues trying to get fans, but the Rams have a Super Bowl. So it's really hard to navigate business in the NFL. You think you could be a GM or a president or an owner and know how to run your franchise? Dean Spanos moved this team to LA because LA was the brand. And I understand California is very high with taxes and everything like that. Very high Democratic state. You make as much, but you also pay as much in taxes. So we know California is California. It is what it is. But we also know California is also its own economy. You put its own independently, it's like fifth, sixth, or right around that biggest economy in the world. It's even in front of Germany alone. So the Spanos family moved their team to Los Angeles. And it was right around the 2017 season they did that. They rebranded, became the LA Chargers. And a lot of my friends who are sports people, they know this. And they actually kind of laugh about it. They played their first couple seasons in what was at the time StubHub Park. It is now called Dignity Health Sports Park. That is where the Los Angeles Galaxy of the MLS Major League Soccer team plays. And they have 5 cups. They only hold roughly 30 to 32,000 people. We remember watching a couple games there. It's 80-20, 70-30. Opposing visiting team over Charger fans. So they knew they were going to share the upcoming SoFi Stadium with the Rams. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not any different. You go to a Charger game in SoFi, it's 70-30. Opposing team versus the Chargers. And you can blame the Spanos family. And it's not even the kids, it's Dean Spanos himself. I'm sure he's a great businessman. He knows what he's doing and whatever. At one time, he tried to promote the Chargers by letting the Los Angeles Kings wear baby blue Chargers hockey jerseys. Look where that went. Try finding them. They were up for auction. I don't even know if they even sold out of them. But they weren't bad. I'm just saying that's what they tried to do. So here's that thought that I always say, and I jokingly say this to most of my friends outside, and they're very well aware of what I say when I say nobody in LA cares about the Chargers. Nobody. Right now, they look good on paper. You now have a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert. You had a running back in Austin Eckler, who earlier in the year barked about why running backs aren't getting paid. Then he finally does, and they're not. I mean, they've got a couple good receivers in Keenan Allen, and they had another. They had one is now injured, and their defense with their defense with the one Bosa kid, and they went out and made a deal to get Khalil Mack. Their defense is not bad, but you also have a defensive coach who's probably on the hot seat in Brandon Staley. You're actually one of the worst defenses in football. You don't build revenue by just packing your crap up and moving to LA and expecting Los Angeles County to incorporate you. And that's one of the major troubles of the Chargers and any team in LA trying to fight for attention. I like to joke about, and I know there's Charger fans in LA, but you're outnumbered. You're so outnumbered by not even the opposing team. You're outnumbered by every other Los Angeles team in the entire market. You're outnumbered by USC. Even UCLA, you're outnumbered. So I don't want to jokingly, absolutely bash the Chargers franchise. But why do you push yourself when you should have stayed in San Diego to begin with? Because, I didn't like the proposal they gave me, and so I'm going to pack my stuff up and leave. So, Dean Spanos is not really a very liked person right now. Nobody in the market of 31 owners, and remember, there's 31. Green Bay doesn't have an owner. The majority owners of the NFL were upset that they moved. San Diego does not have anything else but the Padres. That's it. That is it. And now they're going to, and I don't know, to try to make it up, they're going to get an MLS team in 2 years. It'll be San Diego FC. So they're going to kind of help out a little bit in the long run, but to also kind of throw a little whatever into the fire. They tore down Qualcomm, same place that the Chargers played, and they built a 40,000 seat stadium for San Diego State University, Snapdragon Stadium. Oh, Lord. What a surprise. They built a stadium, but it's only 40,000 seats and it's for the university, whatever. That's also where the soccer team's going to play. Sometimes Dean Spanos is not too, it doesn't, I mean, I know some owners are out there fighting for everything, but I've never really been a fan. Never really have been a fan of the Chargers. They've gone to one Super Bowl. They beat the Steelers to get there, and it was the Stan Humphrey year. And they got absolutely steamrolled by Steve Young and the 49ers that year. The Chargers are never going to really amount to anything. I mean, he can have a brand all he wants, which is completely fine. But I'm not going to technically, I will wrap this up soon just to give you a little bit of a message about what California is. Never been there, but, I have many friends who have gone out there. One of my B-boy friends lived out in San Jose. I have a couple B-boy friends that live out in that area, and he goes to Sharks games occasionally. And beautiful area if you're willing to pay that much to live out there. But you have a lot of competition in LA. LA has two of everything. It's the Rams and the Chargers, and even the Rams struggle to get fans, but the Rams are a little bit more of a bigger brand than the Chargers ever will be. You've got the Dodgers, who have a 50,000-seat Dodger Stadium that is legendary and iconic. You've got the LA, and I don't even call them LA, the California Angels, who are in Orange County. That is Orange County's team, not LA's. So you got the Angels, who don't know if they're going to be in a massive rebuild if they lose Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout. You've got two basketball teams with LeBron and the Lakers, and you got the Clippers, who are getting their own building, the Intuit Dome, on the other side of Inglewood. And we know the Lake Show is always big in LA. The Clippers are trying to be their own identity. You got two hockey teams, technically one, the LA Kings, which obviously I'm wearing, showing off, but you also had Anaheim Ducks, and then you have the Sharks up at Silicon Valley in San Jose. So I wouldn't say it's one of everything, but the LA Kings are doing very well right now, and they're actually doing much better than the Lakers right now. And then you got two soccer teams in LA as well. The Galaxy has 5 cups. They will always be relevant. They're historic. And then you have LAFC, who are the reigning defending MLS Cup champions. And their new building, the Bank of California Stadium, is very, very popular as well, especially down in that one type of area in LA. They sell out every year. They sell out every game, LAFC, and it's partially owned by Will Ferrell. You have enough competition, along with USC and UCLA, who are going to the Big Ten. So, what do you Chargers? There's people in San Diego that resent you for leaving, but there are also people in San Diego that, well, I love my team, I always will. So I'm not going to bash the Chargers a whole heck of a lot, but they do need to move and get out of LA. You're going to try to build and try to be 2nd, 8th, 9th to everybody else in LA County. Good luck. I really do. I really wish you luck. I really do. And your team's not that great anyway. It looks good on paper, but you're competing way too much against in a very, very high economy in LA County, where there's so much to do. There's a ton of things to do in California, let alone LA. You travel an hour or so, whatever. You can go to the beach. You can go Big Bear to ski. You can do anything in that entire area. Ups, north, south, whatever. There's a ton of things to do in California. And people are distracted. There's a lot of things to do. So competing in California is very, very difficult. The Angels will never compete with the Dodgers and their TV deal. The Angels are never going to get the prospects they ever get. They're never going to get the players. Dodgers keep raking in money like the Yankees do. The Lakers will never ever be second fiddle to the Clippers ever. Kings hockey will always be big. The two soccer teams compete against each other, and that's always fun. But for years and years, the NFL didn't have LA. They didn't need LA. Now they've got 2. So what is your take on what the heck the deal is with the Chargers? I'm not saying they pack their stuff and move to San Antonio. I don't want that to happen, because I know that will never happen, and Dean Spanos is that stubborn. So your take on the Chargers. I know I like to say and I like to joke about it, but right now, the way things are going right now, your comment and what you personally think about the Chargers situation, leave a comment, like and subscribe if you like this sort of stuff and like this little talk. And I do like to throw a little bit of comedic banter in that as well, but a little bit of help on Wikipedia does not hurt any so often. So thank you for dealing with my gear and everything like that. I like to throw a little bit of a little hodgepodge subject with you guys as well. And as always, we appreciate you. And anytime you want to check any of that stuff out, any of that stuff that I do, you can check all my handles out as well, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Instagram or TikTok. I just recently jumped on Threads as well. And guys, it's been a pleasure. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I am blessed, humbled, and all that you get a chance to watch these videos, watch all the rest of the stuff that I have. And as always, I always say the bar is closed, and I will see you bloody legends in the next one. I'm going to see if I can do this on one shot.